Greetings and welcome to the Christian Entrepreneur Network. My name is Stan Hustad. I'm the leader and co-founder of this organization, and this is what we call a TeachAbout. That's right, we have a whole variety of audio and video training programs. We have an internet radio program. We are here with all kinds of resources, teaching, coaching, training, and books and tapes and videos to help you as a Christian entrepreneur to be more fully alive. Think about that, fully alive. To seek a good life for you and your family and your community. To build a great business. Didn't say a big one, probably not a big one, but a great business. And be able to expand your brand, your territory, your influence so that people know about the good things and the good offerings you have and how useful they are and how good they can be to help them achieve the things that are good for their life. And to do so for the good of your family, your church, your community, and perhaps even for the world and the glory of God. That's what we'd like to help you do. I've been a business performance coach for over 25 years. I've been an international broadcaster and teacher for 40 years, and I think almost a half century of teaching, because I love to teach. It's been one of my first loves. Even though I was very shy as a young person, I got over that and loved to teach and became a broadcaster, and then doing what I do now, standing in front of a camera and perhaps teaching to thousands of people all over the world. So here are some of the things I have learned. I was one time challenged when someone came up to me and they showed me the very classic book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I said, oh, I read that book. And by the way, I have an interesting story about the 7 habits of highly effective people that came to me one time. And they said, Stan, okay, you're kind of an executive coach, you're kind of an entrepreneurial coach. Tell me the 7 things, and then he smiled and said, some secrets of how to be an executive or an entrepreneurial success. What would be some secrets you could teach me? 7 of them. Well, that was quite a challenge. Well, I went back and thought about that, and he was right. There are some 7 secrets. I was able to come up with them. But they weren't secrets in the fact that they were closed off knowledge. They're knowledge that anybody can have. And so in this brief time, could I share with you, for perhaps your help and conversation, I'd love to talk to you more about it, some of the 7 things that I have discovered might be helpful for you to know, become, do, to experience greater success as a leader, as an entrepreneur, perhaps as a motivator of people, as an organizer, as a creator of business enterprises. Number 1, this is vital. Peter Drucker, who really founded the School of Management Consulting in the 20th century, was the man when it came to knowing how to build an organization and business, and was kind of the coach to many of them, said that toward the end of his career he came to an understanding which he wished he had had years before. And it was this. He said, I found out that I could not really help a man or a woman in their leadership unless they could really answer this question. How do you want to be remembered? You will end. You will be gone. You won't be there or here anymore forever. You will be gone. When that happens, how do you want to be remembered? And it actually was a question that goes back hundreds of years to St. Augustine, who said the primary challenge in life is to discover that answer and that question. And Drucker said, I found out that unless a person who is in a position of leadership could tell me how they want to be remembered, both in their life and in their business, my consulting would be hollow and misdirected. And even in their particular assignment, which might not be a permanent assignment. It might be just the position they have right now. But when they lose it or leave it or move on to something else, how do they want to be remembered for that particular piece of work, that project? And that's vital. If you want to be a leader, an entrepreneur of success, start by doing what very few people do, and that's to have the courage to do a little self-discovery and find out, how do you want to be remembered? Family, friends, colleagues, customers, both in terms of your life and those people who know you through your community or through your business or through your industry. When you're gone and they talk about you, what do you want them to remember? And then, what are you going to do every day to help you land up that way? What are you going to do every day to help you land up that way? How do you want to be remembered? Success secret number one. And then, how do you want to do your life? Be one of the 3% of the population who knows who they are, what they want, and how they're going to try and get there. What's the plan? I discovered this powerful truth, and I realized why I'd gotten in trouble. Only 3% of the population truly is goal-directed. Highly specific, motivated goals, purpose-poised plan. They've answered the question, and they're working it daily. They know what it is they're called to do, what they want to achieve, and how they're going to work on that almost every day of their lives. What do they want? 3%, only 3%. 10%, not quite the clarity, but they're pretty focused. They've got good ideas as to what they want. 60% are kind of hopes, wants, and wishes. Deal with the day. They are someday, it would be nice. They have ideas, but, like most people, they just kind of do what they do, when they do it, and they look for the next opportunity. But there is no great, powerful, motivating mission or obsession or passion in their life. 27%, totally clueless. They don't have an idea. They're just trying to make it, just trying to survive, just doing what they have to do. No dreams, no hopes, no visions. Few wishes maybe, but there they are. Would you like to become one of the 3%? Well, there's ways to do that, and we can help you. But secret number 2 is be one of the successful, self-selected 3%. And number 3, it's up to you. Take full responsibility for your success. It's not the government's job to make you successful. It's not the school's job. It's not your company's job. It is your responsibility. And if something goes wrong, don't blame, don't shame, fix it. You may not be to blame. There are many things that have happened to me that I was not to blame for. In fact, I was, in some respect, victimized. But I'm not going to be a victim. I have to. For the messes I'm in and the things and the situations I'm in, somehow, I'm going to have to take full responsibility for them. It does me no good to blame or to pity or to complain. Adversity is part of the plan. Life is difficult. It's not fair. I oftentimes say the question, well, that's not fair, is never uttered after the 6th grade. We'll try and keep things fair up to the 6th grade. After that, they're not going to be, and they never will be. You have to deal with it and take full responsibility. Chapter 4. And I say chapter because it is an entire chapter of your life if you want to be successful. But it's number 4. I say with a smile, you need a variety of DWI convictions. That's right, DWI. Now that usually means driving while under the influence or driving while intoxicated under the influence of drugs and alcohol. Terrible thing. A bad thing. A killing thing. Don't do it. But we make it this way. Demonstrated wisdom and insight. Increasingly, the things you do can be replaced by a robot, something like you. And it is incredible how much that is happening. I've even pointed out that there are now some fairly complex jobs, even like financial planning, where, the computer can get more information and make better picks than the wisest of the people who do that. But there has to be something else. Wisdom and insight that is useful, practical, and helpful and thoughtful for people. The robots can't do that. Wisdom and insight, which is how to best live your life and how to understand what's truly going on, how to be compassionate when you have to be and tough when you need to be. That kind of things robots can't do. Only people with God-given minds and wisdom and insight can do. And what are you doing to cultivate your wisdom and insight? Who do you talk to? Where do you go? Who do you study? What do you read? What kind of things do you do to fill your mind with the good things of wisdom and insight and truth? Wisdom, insight, and truth. Demonstrated wisdom and insight. That's vital to be successful, particularly today. Should I get an MBA? Probably not, unless perhaps you want to be a Wall Street investor or a consultant. Certainly doesn't help you as an entrepreneur. One person said to me, well, the problem with having a Master's of Business Administration, you might actually think that you are one. And then he went on to say, and the issue is not administration anymore. The issue is intuition, leadership, a sense of being able to do wise and wonderful things even when there's no plan, there's no case study, there's no book, there's no learning to guide you. Sometimes it's just mostly bad advice. But what you really need is to become a master of self-expression. Your MSE, teaching, training, and coaching. You're going to have to be a performer, a speaker, a broadcaster, to know how to use the modern media of radio, television, video, performing, speaking, even entertaining. If you want to be a leader, you have to be a storyteller. That's vital. Those are masters of self-expression. Storytelling, broadcasting, broadcasting video, broadcasting radio, speaking in front of other people, one-on-one, small group, thousands of people. One of the best investments you can make is to learn how to become a master of self-expression in such a way that people hear you and believe you and then trust you and follow you. Hear you, believe you, trust you, follow you, and buy from you. That's self-expression. You've got to be a master at that. Also, you're going to have to know what you're really good at. Particularly as an entrepreneur, you've got to do a lot of things. As an executive, you also have to do a lot of things. As any kind of leader, there are things that happen to you all the time that you didn't plan for, but they happen to you. So I encourage you to know, what am I really good at? Is there a way that God made and designed me that there are just some things that I'm really good at, and there are things that I'm hardly good at, and some things that I'm really not very good at all, and there are some things that I don't like, I can't do them, I just don't understand them. Statistics in graduate school just about killed me. I just couldn't do it. Thankful that I had a wonderful teacher who helped me get through it so I could get my degree. But it wasn't natural to me. So I'm encouraging you to do what we encourage people to do. Get a coach or a mentor. Go through the Strengths Finder, particularly the ones that we work with the Gallup program. Have somebody help you discover what you're really good at, what you're strong at, where your strengths are. And see how those strengths and those abilities and the things you're really good at could be used in the best way for you, for your community, for the work you do, for the people who are under your charge or under your influence, or the people you're working with. Most people are not doing what they're really good at. They're doing what somebody else wants them to do. But they do it. And after a while, they can get fairly good at it. But take time to discover what it is you may have been made for, born for, are really good at, and see if you can find a way to do more of that. Oftentimes what I say, success is finding what you're really good at and doing more of that. And success is finding out what you're not good at, what you don't like to do, and doing less of that. There you go. And that comes to the last one. Once you've found out what you're really good at, delegate everything but your genius. Not original with me. Someone taught that to me. Do what you are a genius at. And by the way, you probably are at something, or you could be close if you cultivate it long enough and thorough enough and care enough. Yeah. You were made to be good at something. But most people never discover it, never cultivate it, never find ways of doing more of that. They just kind of do what they have to do to deal with the day, to get what they need. Discover what you are really good at. I remember the guy who changed his entire life by simply saying, this is what I do, and it's all that I do, and I do it well. This is what I do. It's the only thing I do, and I do it well. Can you say that? Do you know what you're talking about? Well, that's the secret of success number 7. And then add to that, kind of as a bonus, the best have a coach. Find a coach, find a mentor. And one coach and mentor to me who had actually spent most of his life, and he passed on his program called What It Takes to Me. He wrote many, many books throughout the 50s, 60s, and 70s. He was one of the top coaches to the Fortune 50 executives. And he said, yes, find a coach, find a mentor, find a sponsor. Seek to find people who will sponsor you because they believe in you. Find coaches and mentors who can challenge you and keep you on the edge and keep you going and growing. And keep being mobile. Keep moving and find ways to do that. But be mobile, find a sponsor, find a coach and a mentor. And then he smiled and said, and if you can't find one, buy one. Well, I'm auditioning maybe to be one or for you to buy me to help you do just that. Well, there you go. Think about these 7 open secrets of executive success. Now, we'd like to help you in any way we can. So reach out to us. You can reach out to me very simply, stanhusted@gmail.com. I've got all kinds of email addresses, but that's the interesting one that you can remember. stanhusted@gmail.com, stanhusted@gmail.com. You can discover us at tcenglobal.org, tcenglobal.org. That's where we hang out. That's the website for the Christian Entrepreneur Network. By the way, if this has been helpful to you, this is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We're not charging you for this. We charge you for some things, but this is free. But if you'd like to help us out, we'd be grateful. tcenglobal.org/contribute. tcenglobal.org/contribute. All of those things are, I guess, tax deductible if you check with your tax consultant. Again, delegate everything but your genius. All right. Thank you for everything, and thank you for the opportunity to work with you. Hopefully we'll see you again. All the best and blessings to you. Always close with a benediction, and we want that for you too. Take care. Till next time, bye for now.